Social insurance law in Bismarck, Germany. Background. Germany started industrialization late in the mid to late 19th century. Compared to England and France, but the organization of the working class and the socialist movement became stronger. The Socialist Suppression Act 1878. The Socialist Suppression Act was enacted to curb the activities of socialists. This can be seen as a backlash against the working class and political aspirations. Induce worker loyalty by providing safety net. Bismarck tried to make workers loyal and obedient to the empire by providing a safety net against disasters, diseases, etc. suffered by workers. It was a policy of seeking social stability through social contract with workers. Stabilization of capitalist social order. One of the purposes of embracing workers as a state through social insurance was to stabilize the capitalist social order. The intention to alleviate conflicts between the working class and capitalists and strengthen the state was reflected by securing social stability of workers through safety nets. Initiative of institutionalized security and intervention. Social insurance in Germany was the beginning of institutionalized security and intervention. Led by the state, a system was formed in which the state intervened to cope with social problems such as industrial accidents, diseases, retirement, and unemployment, and to alleviate class conflicts. Risk guarantee and poverty prevention for workers. Through the social insurance system, the state's role was largely secured by risk guarantee and poverty prevention for workers formed on a large scale. This indicates that it was considered an important responsibility of the state to establish a safety net to prepare for the social risks associated with capitalist industrialization. Bismarck's social insurance system in Germany was innovative at the time, and has since played a major role in the development of social insurance systems affecting other countries. National Insurance Act of the United Kingdom. In the early 20th century, criticism of the Poor Law increased and voices advocating social reform were growing through various social movements in Britain, and a series of social reform legislation was eventually implemented during the Liberal Party's reign from 1905 to 1915. According to a social survey by Booth in 1886 and Rowntree in 1899, poverty exists on a large scale in British society. And the cause of poverty lies in society, not moral and personality flaws, as is the norm. And it is found that poverty resolution is impossible by charity and social intervention is essential. The Labour Party, a new party, strongly insisted on the revision of the Slum Law, and the Liberal Party, which sought to minimize its national role, began to agree on social reforms, including the reform of the Slum Law. The Liberal Party, which became the ruling party in 1905, refused to accept both the reports of the Deputy Governor and the Rowntree and promoted social reform on its own line. Lloyd George introduced Britain's first social insurance policy in 1911, as a countermeasure against the participation of the working class in the socialist movement. Attention was paid to the role of social insurance. The National Insurance Act, Unemployment Insurance and Health Insurance, 1911 expanded the role of the state and provided unified coverage nationwide, as many people received social insurance benefits. The British social insurance system brought about a change in the direction of British capitalism that developed, along with a series of social reforms, and was also the beginning of a transition from laissez-faire capitalism to capitalism accompanied by state intervention. Social Security Act of the United States. The United States has long maintained laissez-faire capitalism, where monopolies are prevalent and involve extreme labor exploitation. No nationwide social security system was introduced. After the outbreak of the Great Airport in 1929, the state's intervention in the market economy and the introduction of social welfare policies were required, not only for the survival of members of society, but also for the survival of capitalism itself. Roosevelt's New Deal. It has started reforming the financial sector, building large-scale public infrastructure, led by the state, and providing public jobs, supporting agriculture, and actively relieving the poor. The introduction of the Social Security system was promoted as an institutional framework for the federal government to intervene in unemployment and poverty issues. Social Security Act of 1935. It is the first federal social welfare policy in the United States. Through the establishment of an independent body, the Social Security Commission, combined federal and state unemployment insurance, was introduced, covering half of the paid workers. The old age pension is financed by contributions from workers and employers. And the salary is proportional to the contribution. But the upper-lower limit is provided in a fixed manner. Roosevelt's government also included federal financial aid, state-controlled public assistance programs, and social services in the Social Security Act. However, many black agricultural workers and female workers were limited to being excluded from the benefits. Through this, the federal government established a social security system, laying the foundation for American social welfare policy. As part of the New Deal, it is recognized as an important social policy that contributed to alleviating social inequality and improving the welfare of the people.